Good morning and welcome to Get Enlightened with me, Lauren Scott, and my co-host for Porch Time with Paige.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. What you doing?
I guess let's just talk about life today.
All right. I'm a little sleepy.
I'm a little sleepy too. It's raining over here for like the first time in months.
Yeah. It's getting a little.
And it's fallish.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
The times are changing.
It's so nice. This is my favorite time of the year, actually. I love this time of the year.
Yeah, because it's right after my birthday, and we can start celebrating. It's after both our birthdays.
I know, because we both have October birthdays because we are amazing.
Yeah, and we're both so egocentric, we forget about the other person's. Or maybe that's just me. Sorry, thanks for being my friend.
You didn't forget my birthday.
Oh, yeah, I did send you a text.
You sent me a text?
So there. I love you. I just forgot.
Dude, I forget about my birthday sometimes because Aiden's is in the same week. And so, like, I focus and have focused for 16 years
you're
so
such
much
a good
on
mom.
his. Except this year, it was awesome for me because it was Friday the 13th. And every time that it's Friday the 13th, it's always an amazing day.
I freaking love that day.
I love it.
It's the best.
I literally, out of the 43 years, the birthdays that I remember have fallen on Friday the 13th. What does that say about me? I don't know.
I don't know, but
I like to call it balanced.
I just love a theme. Okay, I like something ridiculous.
You did have a great theme at your party this last weekend.
Yeah, it was a Dia de los Muertos, and
for those that don't know, that's Day of the Dead.
Yes, Day of the Dead. We live in Texas, so I like to celebrate all holidays equally. Everybody's cultural holidays.
She celebrates Day of the Dead.
Yeah, it was a I'm not dead yet theme. I mean, I celebrate every day. Woke up not dead. Made it. Victory. Check that box.
Yeah.
Look, man, I just keep the standards low. Real low.
I would say real high, but...
Oh, well, okay, that's
Balance.
Good. Balance.
We're going to call this episode Porch Time with Paige and Lauren. Balance.
The flip side of the coin. What's the happy? Are you the sad? The yin and the yang?
Also, guys, thank you so much for the awesome release.
Yeah, thanks, bros.
We had an incredible release to all of my episodes, and Porch Time with Paige was a hit.
Yay, me.
It triggered a few people a little bit, but it's
fine.
Okay. It's okay.
It's
okay. And I think anytime that we say anything with politics, it's going to trigger the other side, so it really doesn't. It is.
I said what I said, and I meant what I said, and that is what it is.
Mic drop. Here we are.
There it goes.
So let's talk a little bit because me and Paige have similar thought processes in what we would consider our quote-unquote spirituality. I guess more these days, I do believe in God.
I'm more of an atheist.
But we both live by more of Buddhist.
Yeah, I love the tenets of the Buddha. What I love is listening to things people said.
Yes.
I love them.
Well, I just like all aspects of what it brings to your life. I always say it's not really a religion. It's more of a way of life.
Right, because you don't follow a deity.
No.
You follow just certain tenets. And what I learned more than anything is that the only thing that I can control is myself and the way I react to certain situations.
Amen.
And I don't try to control other people because they are uncontrollable. They are their own person.
Exactly.
And, if you can accept the fact that...
Well, there's something, and the reason
accepting facts.
The reason why I love that concept so much is because I have such a problem with the Christianity faith, as I say it in air marks, air quotations, because I think it's very judgmental. I have so many problems and have had problems in the spiritual, quote unquote, new age, spiritual Wicca world because of the judgmental and the egotistical aspect of it. So I feel like Buddhism is one of those things where we have to really turn into ourselves.
It is. It's about changing yourself. And I think what you're saying is what I'm hearing is those certain things are about changing other people and changing the way they do things, and how this is bad and you need to do this, and it has a negative context. And I see Buddhism as a positive, where it says you are in control of your life. You are in control of your emotions. Certain situations happen, but what you do with it is on you.
Exactly.
Well, maybe because I'm egocentric, but I don't know. I just think that I'm the one with the power. And I'm the one in control of my life.
Yeah.
And
exactly. And can't release that to anybody else, because it is us, right? Like, everybody's a mirror. We were just talking about this.
Yeah.
And I had released the eclipse energy, and how I felt like it has kind of took me into looking at the mirrors throughout the years, and where I have, where they trigger me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that going hand in hand with Buddhism itself, and the reason why I'm so drawn to it is because of that, because it makes you really look at it in a different form or fashion, and take out your ego out of it.
Right. So
it's literally all about dropping ego.
It is. It's all about dropping your ego. And I remember we were going over something somebody had said about something I had said. And you were like, stop focusing on this. And I was like, I'm deconstructing it. I'm trying to figure out what makes me angry or sad or worried or mad about the things they said about me. And that's why I have to think about it. Not about
deconstructing. I like that.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not mad at them for saying that, because they have the right to their opinion. I'm worried about figuring out why I'm having a reaction, and then trying to change myself so I don't have a reaction to them. Is it like, and I don't know, people say triggers or whatever, but I think that's just part of you trying to
figure it out.
Yeah, it's like that hurt some part of me.
Yes. I feel like the eclipse has really brought forth so much healing to me. A lot of closure for me, particularly the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. It was the new.
It is really turning into the new.
Yeah. And
it really is. And if you're going through it, I think everybody astrologically, if you talk to an astrologer right now, everybody's going through it. That's what the eclipse is supposed to do. It literally brings forth the darkness so you can release it and go into the light. That's what the eclipse is all about.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And the coolest thing I found is the energy around it, like the physical energy around the eclipse when you were outside. It made the world feel differently.
Oh, so much so. The intensity.
Yes. Everything was like brightened and
then dark.
And then but it's, I don't know, you can't see my finger gestures.
They're so cool, right? Like, it's so wild to me. I don't know, the world amazes me day. Like nature, like the moon, the sun, like science. It's just something that I'm so into.
So like a friend of mine and I were talking, and I am an atheist with Buddhist tendencies. That's what I say about myself. That's how I acknowledge myself.
Take your mic away a little bit from your face, because.
Sorry, is it too loud?
It's looking like you're. It's looking like.
What if I'm lonely? Sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep.
Don't scream at the folks out there listening.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
I apologize. See, again, my brain. Boop, boop. So, anyway, we were talking, and she said she believes in God, and I'm like, that's fine. If that makes you a good person, I'm down with it. I just think it's amazing to think that we're here in whatever we would get here. And if it's through a deity, that's cool. Happenstance is cool too. Like, if we're all just randomly sitting here because of random shit that happened in this world, and here we are at the same random ass time, talking on these little random mics, maybe too close to each other. Like how? Well, like why isn't that cool too?
What are your thoughts on aliens?
Well, I do think that it would be a little bit hypocritical of us or ostentatious, maybe narcissistic to think that we are the only ones out there.
Same, girl. That's mine too. I don't know, like.
Do I know what they look like? No.
No, I can't.
Do I even think about what they look like? No.
No.
But I would think that how unusual would it be that we are here, and not to think that somewhere else somebody else is here.
Well, there's so many galaxies and other.
God, the world
universes.
is so big.
Yeah, that we're just now kind of finding out about. I mean, like, I swear every day it's like, oh, we've just found these many planets in this whole universe, 30 million light years away.
And we think we're the only ones here?
No, there's no way.
And see how fucked up we got
There's too many people that have seen stuff from the beginning. I mean, there is a UFO painted in the actual, is it the original Mona Lisa?
I don't know.
Or is it one of those, might have been in a few of those. I don't know. I saw this on that Ancient Aliens. I started watching.
It's gotta be true.
It was painted.
Look.
It was painted.
It was painted there.
It was painted there at the beginning of time.
I'm only making fun because I think it's funny. I do actually believe they're out there, okay? Where are they? I don't know. I wish they would come and beam me up, though, sometimes.
I listened to this guy who channels alien, another life force, right?
Yes.
His name is Bashar. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
He channels this guy, Bashar. It's really, really good. It's interesting, actually. Again, I resonate with it a little bit, but it's not something that like they're coming down to get me at all, because I feel like
that would be a fucking rescue mission.
They've been around for a long time.
How much worse is it going to get before they finally are like, okay, fine, we're tapping you out here?
But the way that he channels, and I do believe in channeling.
Yes.
The way that he channels this energy is really kind of cool. So if you're into that, I highly suggest checking out Bashar. You can check him out on YouTube. Maybe I'll have him on if I ever.
Come on, let's get big and famous.
Yeah, if I ever. But it was an interesting concept as my great uncle was the CFO of the U.S. Air Force.
Oh, that's cool.
He was a general, and so I remember when I was a kid asking him if he ever saw UFOs.
The government say there are UFOs?
Yes.
And everybody else was like, that's interesting. Like, everything chaotic and crazy has happened, that the government's like, yeah, there's UFOs out there. And we're like, yeah, of course.
Okay. We survived 2020.
Yeah.
No toilet paper.
And
we're
don't care like,
about the UFOs.
Yeah. And they're like, NBD, bro.
It's so true. It's like they finally said yes and released it, and nobody really cared.
It's like, we've seen them. Okay.
Okay, let's talk about, since we're talking about crazy shit.
Okay, bring it.
Or woo-woo shit, or whatever. Whatever you want to call it. What are your thoughts on, let's see.
It's going to make me think.
Like energy healing, Reiki.
I don't really actually know anything about it, so I can't make an actual judgment call because I know nothing really. So, explain. Oh, teach me, wise one.
From way, way back that is kind of downloaded to you, and you help like clear out from God's source energy.
Uh-huh.
Like using yourself as kind of the transmuter to people that have blockages in their chakra system or their energy field. And it's scientifically proven that it's a thing and a healing modality. I do it. I love it. I get it done. And I also have my Reiki master. And so I do that to some of my clients that need it. And it seems to work. I'm not a doctor.
No.
So I don't give any kind of doctor advice, but it is wild when I'm going through and I can feel a blockage like over the stomach area. And I'm like, have y'all had stomach issues in the last week? And they're like, oh my gosh, we have.
Are you going to live do this for me?
Or
and then
like,
you're going to be like, this is her problem.
Maybe if we go to like the videos at some point, I would do a live session.
With a thermal scan?
With a thermal scan.
Yes.
Only in thermal scans. So you can see the energy transfer. I will tell you that I've done that, and it is really cool.
That would be really awesome.
It actually really truthfully
I'm not opposed to it, and it's not something that I'm like, well, that's obviously bullshit. I don't think that's true. I just don't know enough about it because, to be perfectly honest, I'm busy.
I think the biggest problem with people that do Reiki is learning how to understand that you're connected to source energy and it's not your energy. Because I think it's very easy to, especially an empathetic person who deals with energy, to touch somebody and I can feel their emotions when I connect to their energy space. And that you don't really want to do. You kind of want to put a block
isn't that
over
like
yours
anything?
And use it.
Sorry,
like,
that was weird.
Yeah, but you don't want to bring on the illness through transformation of energy. You know, if they have, so you have to really learn. That's why I think going to Reiki master before you actually give Reiki, like doing all 3 of the courses, is so that you can actually learn the steps that are good for you. Energetic cleanup. You know, that's something that I've talked about a lot because it's something that I do a lot is energetic cleanup.
My problem is trusting too much.
Trusting?
I don't trust enough people to trust somebody to go and do that. I would probably trust you.
Well, thanks for the probably.
Hey, I'm just being honest. Look, I don't let anybody touch me.
At this point, bitch, you better trust
I know.
me.
I'm like, are you going to go and tell everybody my problems?
No, and that's the other thing that I think is a huge red flag. If you have people that are going outside telling, like, these healers their issues or
that's just disrespectful.
Like that, it's disrespectful. It's rude. It should be considered a safe space to where you can talk about things and not have to worry about them getting repeated.
Isn't that all like... It's kind of seems to me like a therapeutic energy.
I have literally been with some in the industry that as soon as you walk out of the room, they're discussing it.
They're not professionals and they shouldn't be doing that.
If that is happening to you, that is a huge red flag.
Yeah. I guess that's also my issue.
And medical advice shouldn't be given. No, that's a huge red flag.
If it's not regulated, like the thing is I have my 200-hour yoga cert or whatever. I am a yoga teacher. I am not a therapist. I'm not a physical trainer. I'm not, any of these things.
And that's tough for people to understand because it is a healing. It's used as a healing modality, yoga, energy healing. Those are all healing modalities. And it's tough when people are like, hey, can you do this for me? And I'm like, I can help you through it. But at the end of the day, you have to be the one that does the work.
And through the practice, I'll give, ways that I see like acceptance of yourself.
Yes.
And moving on those kind of lessons. But people, I guess we circle back to, you have to understand where you are.
Yes.
What your position is, how much training you've had, and what people are wanting.
Yes.
In
everything.
In everything.
That goes for religion.
Yes. And
that goes for life in general. That goes for
work. Your friends. And all of these things where...
But especially, I know what you're saying, especially in unregulated, like even life
I guess
coaching.
That's what I'm saying, like, because it's basically unregulated.
Exactly.
And
you need to check out who you're going to.
Right.
And make sure that they're living the kind of life that you want to bring into your life. Because if they're helping you heal, then they should be practicing what they preach.
Right. And I always assumed, I guess ignorantly myself, that every yoga teacher would have the due diligence that I would do. Like every Reiki person would have the same due diligence that I would have. And then a yoga teacher injured me 2 or 3 times in an adjustment. And I realized that other people do not have the same due diligence. They do not understand their limitations. They don't understand how they could possibly hurt somebody. And I guess I'm speaking of yoga like anatomically because I have never done Reiki, but I can assume it's the same situation.
It's the same situation, I think, in any of those like quote unquote healing modalities, which I consider yoga a healing modality.
Right.
And yoga teachers can go through the process of going to retreats, or they can go through a 24-hour process online now that since 2020 especially.
Yeah, and there's a difference.
There is a difference.
And when I'm saying that I don't trust you, it's I assume people have my same due diligence.
Yeah.
And if I do not, and after learning, like we were talking about how every day you learn something new, every day you change, every bad situation you get into, it makes you think twice about any other situation. So after I had this bad situation, it makes me wonder, how did you get your certification? Are you going to help me? Or are you going to hurt me? And I think that's my issue and it's not with Reiki in general.
No, I think it's just with anything.
It's with anything. And I would be totes down for you to do the Reiki thing with me.
Thank you.
Okay.
I will actually do a session with you, because then I think it's good for you to come on here and talk about what you felt and experienced, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, because I've never done it.
And because you've never done it. And sound healing, because I really love doing sound healings and Reiki together during a session.
That would be cool.
So we're going to do that. Actually, you know what? I will do a sound healing and Reiki session on you, and maybe that's something that we can talk about on one of the porch times.
Okay, I would totes be down.
Okay, let me think. What else was brought up on question wise for us? This is our episode that the questions that were brought forth from our first one. I'm kind of going through
and answer,
because people were like, "What do you mean woo woo?"
The woo woo.
Yeah.
The woo woo. The
woo-woo.
woo-woo is what I think of as the holistic, more mental health, more religious, spiritual, that kind of sitch.
Yeah. So that is kind of why I was wanting to talk about it today. So we give you an idea of where we stand on our woo-woo, and where we do.
With our secret words that we like to make up.
Yeah.
The woo-woo. The woo-woo. You know, when you go in there and then the teacher starts teaching and then your mind goes to somewhere else, that's the woo-woo. And when you have like a breakthrough where you're like, yeah, it's all on me, but in a good way.
Yes, there you go. I had that breakthrough.
Yeah.
I did. I've had a few of those breakthroughs. Learning, growing, healing.
Every day. It is fun though, because I don't know. I spend a lot of time in my own mind, thinking all the time, deconstructing, if you will.
Well, that's why we're such good friends, because we can literally sit here and just talk about deconstructing.
Yeah.
The deconstructing.
I love it.
Of woo-woo.
Because I'm just like, yeah, what does that mean? Oh, what do you mean by that?
It's balance. I think that's the whole point of being a person and human.
Yeah. You mean talking?
Growing,
learning, and changing?
Imagine that. I feel the person that I was even 5 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm completely different.
Oh, yeah, totes. And some in good and some in bad. I have
been out of the social world for a little bit, like as far as like going to events, because I did it for so long. And now with this new opportunity, I'm stepping back into the event world, but I'm having a boundary on it. I'm only going to go to like 2 or 3 a year, and that's it.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It's because I went balance. Yeah. Because I used to have to throw them constantly and go to them constantly. My husband's not super excited that he's having to go through the...
But did you do it because you wanted to? Or did you do it because somebody else expected you to?
Oh, no, I did it because I wanted to.
Oh, well,
I loved the charity world.
Oh, I
did. We'll get into that.
Yeah, that's another one.
Because that's a good one.
Yeah,
there's a lot I can talk about on that.
But it's good. Like you're bringing and doing good into the world.
You are, yes.
Yeah.
There are positives and negatives that I will be discussing, because that is a whole episode by itself. And then I will also be bringing people on that have traveled and experienced it with me. From NFL players to just some of the, doctors, just
I can't
in different
wait.
aspects.
I can't wait.
It's really fun. The last few weeks I've been doing nothing but interviews, and I have been amazed at the capture of it. Like it really, this whole podcast has been fun. Like, it's just fun. I have no expectations.
We're talking to the cosmos.
We're talking to the cosmos. But the feedback and like, there's actually people out there that are listening and like
because we're fucking awesome.
It's
baller, if you will.
It's so crazy though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because honestly, I was expecting like.
So, okay, like I'm talking to my brother and we were talking, he lives in California and we were like, what's it like over here there? And he goes, the same but different. And I'm like everybody's the same but different. So there's all these people living our same life all over the country. And the things that we talk about are the same things that they think of in their actual lives.
Yeah.
And that's why it resonates.
But yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So stay tuned because I'm telling you, it's just getting better.
We're resonating.
And thank you to those that listened through my Sheriff Deeds episode because there was a little feedback, but
Stop talking about that. We have accepted it. It is good enough, Lauren. You have not learned the lesson. Good enough.
Damn it.
Okay?
I've still got learning to do, Paige.
I will start throwing things. Stop apologizing.
Okay, I'm not apologizing for that episode anymore, guys. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Again, thanks for being here, Paige.
Thanks for having me, Lauren. Love you. You're the best.
Love you. You're the best.
Yay, girl.
And we will see you next week with Get Enlightened with me, Lauren Scott.